Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye. Naistaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on nectar of instruction, today we are starting new verse number 3. Utsaha Nishtaya Dharya Tattat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Sato Vritte Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhyati. So previously we studied Atyahara Prayasascha Prajalpo Niyamagraha Jansanga Shalolyam Shadbir Bhaktir Vinashyati. But now, 6 ways, 6 principles. If we follow this, then our bhakti can be improved. They are very favorable for pure devotion service. So there are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotion service. Number 1, being enthusiastic, utsahat. 2, endeavoring with confidence, nishyat. 3, being patient, dharyat. 4, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. So, Utsaha, Nishyat, Dharya, Tattat Karma Pravartana. Abandoning the association of non-devotees, Sangatyaga, and following in the footsteps of the previous Acharyas, Satovritte. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotion service. See, again, the association of non-devotees, and in the second verse, it was Janasanga. So by associating with the karmis or karmi mentality people, our bhakti can be destroyed. So again, association, very, very. So let's see how Prabhupada starts it. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Many times people believe devotees mean they were just sentimentalists. Oh, no. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Ecstasy is not imaginative. It's not imaginary. It comes from the heart. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu has defined devotional service as follows. So hopefully by mercy of Prabhupada we'll get to study Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu also, which is nectar of devotion. So Rupa Goswami has said, what is bhakti? Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttama. What is Uttam Bhakti? Uttam Bhakti, or unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. So rendering of devotional service. And this is another beauty of Prabhupada's purpose, Prabhupada's choice of words. Whenever word comes bhakti, Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktiruttama. That's the shloka says. But Prabhupada translates this how? Rendering of devotional service. He doesn't say rendering of devotion. He always says devotional service. Because it's a matter of service. It's not a matter of just sitting down and being in ecstasy. Of course, some devotees who are at that level, even in their meditation, they can meditate and being in the pastime of Krishna and rendering service over there. From our mundane point view, we will think that they're just sitting down and just meditating. No. Even in the meditation, they're performing service. So it involves bhakti means rendering of devotion service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. Now that's also important. Not unfavorable to the Lord. And not just favorable to the Lord service-wise. The mood has to be favorable. For example, Krishna, Damodar Lila we studied, we discussed that Krishna broke the heart of Mother Yashoda and then he ran away and then Mother Yashoda caught him. She was running after him with a stick in her hand and she caught him. In fact, the story is Krishna himself let Mother Yashoda catch him because he saw Mother Yashoda was getting tired running after him. So she caught him and she showed the stick. And Krishna started crying and he is saying, put that stick down, please put that stick down. Don't beat me up. And she put the stick down. But she said, no, you're still very naughty, very disturbed. I have to tie you up. No, ma, don't tie me up. No, I have to tie you up. And she tied him up to the mortar. Krishna is crying. Is that bhakti? According to Acharyas and Yashoda Maya, we all know how loving mother of Krishna she is. This is bhakti because this is what Krishna also wanted. And the mood of Mother Yashoda was yes, it was to chastise Krishna, but it was full of love for Krishna. Not as an enemy of Krishna, she was trying to tie him up. Huge difference. So that is definitely bhakti. On the other hand, Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, when we studied in Bhagavata, when Krishna or Lord Vishnu has a desire to fight, he has to have a qualified person, an opponent, who can fight it with him or who can give him pleasure of fighting. So these demons, Jay and Vijay, the ones who became these demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and Lord fought with them as Lord Nrsimhadev and Lord Varahadev. He fought and he got the pleasure of fighting. But this is not considered as bhakti by Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu because their mood was not of serving Krishna. The mood was not favorable to the Lord. Ravan, Kumkaran, they were also Jai Vijay. But their mood was not to serve Ram. Of course, Lord found the pleasure in fighting because he has to have the equally qualified opponent to fight with. So, even though they gave pleasure, it's not considered bhakti. Bhakti is what Yashoda Maya did, and although Krishna was crying when she tied him up. It's a huge difference. What is bhakti? And this explained in detail in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. And what is this devotional service? This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other selfish desires. Means complete surrender, in a complete mood of pleasing Krishna in a favorable way. That is bhakti. And it's a anukulena Krishna anushilanam. The words are very, very nicely written here. Anushilanam. Anushilanam means it's a cultivation. It's not that it's just going to happen overnight in us. No, we have to work on it. So Prabhupada says bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some pseudo yogis teach. So when Krishna says man mana bhav mad bhakto in Bhagavad Gita, man mana, think of me. Think of me doesn't mean sitting down and think. Thinking of him means at every moment of the day thinking of Krishna favorably and rendering service. And when we render service to him, definitely we will be thinking of him. That is bhakti. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service. And for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activity, at least for the time being. So that way meditation is good, but devotion service is way beyond just idle meditation. Devotion service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. So that is bhakti. And what are those activities? Srila Prahlad Maharaj recommends Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. The 9 processes of devotional service are as follows. Number 1, Shravanam means hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shravanam, Kirtanam, chanting his glories. Vishnu Smaranam, remembering the Lord. Padsevanam, serving the Lord's feet, worshipping the deity. Archanam, offering obeisance. Archanam Vandanam. And then acting as a Lord's servant. Dasyam, making friends with the Lord. Sakhyam, surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. Atma Nivedana. So these are the 9 processes of devotion service. Navada Bhakti, we call it. And there are devotees who only did one of these 9 and they got perfection. Of course, we can do all 9. We can focus on 1, 2, 3, whatever we like, whatever our mind is or nature is. But there is service involved in all of these. It's not idle meditation. And there are devotees who achieved perfection, like number 1, hearing, Shravanam. So Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection just by hearing. Chanting the glory, Shravanam Kirtanam, Shukdev Goswami, remembering the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj. Serving the Lord's feet. So that is Prithu Maharaj, Archanam. And Vandanam, worshipping the deity, that is Akrurji. Vandanam. Offering obeisances unto the Lord. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. No, that is acting as a Lord's servant. So serving the Lord's feet is Lakshmiji. Sorry, I got confused there. Serving the Lord's feet is Lakshmiji. Worshipping the deity is Prithu Maharaj. Offering obeisances unto the Lord is Akrurji, when he offered wonderful prayers at Akrura Ghat when he came to take Krishna and Balram back. Acting as the Lord's servant, Hanumanji. Making friends with the Lord, Arjun. And surrendering oneself fully to the Lord, Bali Maharaj. And they attained perfection by doing one. And all these 9 activities were done by Ambarish Maharaj. And we read about him, how he perfected his life. So we can do 1, 2, or all 9, or part of 3, partly 4, 5, 6. But the point is, there is service and one can attain perfection. by these. So Prabhupada gives some more insight on all the 9 processes. Shravanam or hearing is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. The first step, it starts with Shravanam or hearing, because if until we hear it right, we cannot do proper service, or even chanting cannot be proper and other services cannot be proper. So how one should hear? One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons, but should approach the proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena seveya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnanina sattvadarshana. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. So try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. And not just by approaching, one can learn the truth. How? Inquire from him submissively, not challenging him. By challenging, we don't even get the proper answer in school or college. We don't challenge our teacher. And render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. But how are we approaching him? And approaching tadviti pranipatena. Pranipatena means by surrendering, humbly approaching the spiritual master. Not in a challenging mood, inquire from him submissively, just like Arjuna inquired. They show what the quality of a disciple should be. Parikshit Maharaj, how he inquired. And Vedic scriptures, they talk all about, there's so many people asking questions and gurus are answering those answers, giving the answers. In the assembly of Naimisharanya, 88,000 sages were there. And they all chose Shaunak Rishi as their representative, and how humbly Shaunak Rishi was asking questions to Sut Goswami. Although Sut Goswami, we remember, he was a little boy. He was not a very, very aged person. In compared to Shaunak Rishi and other sages. Shukdev Goswami, he was also a boy. His own father was sitting. Although they did not ask him. The father did not ask, Narad Muni did not ask. Only questions were asked by Parikshit Maharaj. But how humbly he asked the questions. And render service unto him. Well, if there is possibility of rendering physical service, great. Otherwise, the rendering of service is by attentively hearing what the saintly person is talking about. Because when Shukdev Goswami also says that, or Sut Goswami says, I forgot in Bhagavatam, that when the audience is attentive, the speaker gets an motivation to speak, to give more knowledge. So the self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So, but it all starts with, the process starts with Shravanam, hearing. Further, Prabhupada says, it is further recommended in the Mundak Upanishad, Tad Vijnanartham Sa Guru Meva Vigachet. To understand that transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. But when he approaches a bona fide spiritual master, to do what? To serve? Humbly approach him and ask questions. Thus, this method of submissively receiving transcendental confidential knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. We don't need to speculate. We need to ask questions and then get the correct answer. In fact, for hearing, Prabhupada said at some place that he saw some of the disciples were sleeping in the Bhagavatam class in the morning. And Prabhupada was giving class, and he got very upset. And he said, if you have to sleep 10, 12 hours a day, go do that, but be attentive in the Bhagavatam class. And when his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was speaking in Vrindavan once a day, they arranged a parikrama, and Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was there, his disciples were there, and Prabhupada, there's Abhay Charan, he wasn't even initiated that time. He was there. So Prabhupada wrote that he just loved to hear whenever his Guru Maharaj spoke. And he would sit and listen attentively. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj noted that, and he responded one place that, yes, I have noticed this young man that he likes to listen, likes to hear attentively. So this attentive hearing, and it is called, in Hindi there's a word called utkantha, attentively, enthusiastically hearing. What does utkantha mean? Utkantha means, kantha means the neck, right? Ut means it has to be straight, not like this. So that is utkantha. It means with that utkantha one should hear when he approaches a bona fide spiritual master. And when one hears this transcendental, confidential knowledge, this subject matter which is transcendental, why he hears that? Because somehow or other, by mercy of Krishna, he has come to this platform. Not everybody gets this chance. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Brahmand Brahmite Kon Bhagyavana Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye, Bhakti Lata Bija. In the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of the Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotional service. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. So how fortunate we are that by mercy of Prabhupada, mercy of Krishna, mercy of devotees, we are getting this golden opportunity. We got this golden opportunity to listen about Krishna, to perform devotional service. So Brahmanda Brahmite, we have taken so many births, unlimited number of birds and unlimited number of species and unlimited number of planets. And to add to that, unlimited number of universes, because there is no telling when did we fall down in the material world. How many lifetimes we have wasted? How many millenniums? Forget about years. Millenniums we have wasted. Going up, down, this species, that species, this planet, that planet, this family, that family. We've been going through all. It's not like they say, oh, 84 lakh yoniya are there. Yes, they are there. But it doesn't mean after coming to human life, we cannot go down. We can. So we have been just going through the knowledge of scriptures. We know we have been through trillions and trillions of lifetimes. But now, somehow or other, by mercy, by some agyat sukriti, We have got this chance to come in the association of devotees to perform some devotional service. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, in the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata. And how he receives? Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. But there is some more understanding of this. It's also said, Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nityadas. So every jiva is servant of Krishna. So this bhakti, seed of bhakti, is in the heart of every jiva. I mean, now how much we are covered over by material consciousness, that's a different thing. But it's there. So, but here it is said, all by the grace of Guru and Krishna, he gets a seed of Bhakti Lata. But the seed is already there, always there. This is the eternal nature. But Guru and Krishna, by their mercy, they give us a chance to work on that Bhakti Lata. They give us a chance to develop some affinity for hearing, chanting, and doing other parts of bhakti, Navda Bhakti. They give us by their mercy. That's why we say, Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananda. I was born in darkness of ignorance, and by your mercy you have shown me, oh Guru, you have shown me with the torchlight and the lamp of knowledge that you have given. So they give this knowledge. And how do we receive this knowledge? That's up to us. How do we work on this knowledge? That's up to us. And this is the verse, Utsahat Nishedharya. This is how we work on devotional service. And if we work on devotional service in as recommended in this verse, we can make tremendous progress. And if we avoid the atyaha, priyasasya, prajalpo, niyamagraha, all those things, and if we can control the vegas, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, if we can control those urges and make progress as mentioned in this verse, we can make tremendous progress. Now it's all up to us. It's not that like sometimes people say, of course, the way Prabhupada has set up in ISKCON, everybody understands we have to work hard on the devotional service, on the practices, especially our chanting. But some places, some gurus, the disciples, they say, okay, we have, humne guru kar diya hai. First of all, they use this term. Humne guru kar liya hai. And now it's all guru's department. Guru's responsibility to take us back. No. It's like, I won't take names. Once I was getting some reports on the Matajis and chanting in the class. They say, oh, Prabhuji, I cannot chant properly. Well, you have to try, you have to work on it. Oh, I am not getting your mercy, that's why I'm not. I say, so it's all fault of your Shiksha Guru. Huh? You're not chanting because it's my fault. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. We have to perform our duty. Krishna's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy is always there. That's why it says this is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. But to get their mercy properly, we have to show some sincerity, their determination in our rendering of devotional service, and avoiding other things that are supposed to be avoided. We have to show the sincerity, and their mercy will follow. Definitely, it will flow. But if we think, oh, by mercy of Guru, I'll make progress, doesn't happen like that. Krishna and Prabhupada, they are supremely powerful. They can do anything, whatever they want. But the principle is this: we have to work hard, and then hope for their mercy. Even if they want to pick somebody up, lift somebody up, without somebody working hard, that's up to them. It's their independence, their choice. They can do whatever they want. But principle is this: the material world is a place of confinement for the living entities who are by nature anandamaya, pleasure-seeking. So it's a place of confinement. It's a place of as a imprisonment for the living entities who are by nature anandamaya or pleasure-seeking. So this is our real nature. We want to enjoy. Who wants to be tied up here? But the material world is like that. They actually want to be free from the confinement of this world of conditional happiness. Conditional happiness. It's not unlimited happiness. It's not spiritual happiness. It's all conditional. It means if my conditions are fulfilled, I'll be happy. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I lose this, I will not be happy. If I get good health, if I have good job, good money, I'll be happy. No, that's conditional. But not knowing the process of liberation, they're bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another and from one planet to another. Not knowing the process of liberation, they're bound to transmigrate. And why do we transmigrate? Based on our desires, unfulfilled desires. And the karma that we perform in one life, we get next life. Next species, which species? That depends on what kind of consciousness we have developed. In this way, the living entities are wandering throughout the material universe. When by good fortune, one comes in contact with the pure devotee and hears from him patiently, one begins to follow the path of devotional service. So when by good fortune, so this good fortune is not some kind of discrimination by Krishna that he gives it to somebody and doesn't give to others. No, it depends on our agyat sukriti. Now, agyat sukriti is some pious activity, some good activity that we have done towards a devotee. Otherwise, it's a punya karma, but when we do it towards devotee, which pleases Krishna. Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dvesho sinna priya. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, I'm equal to all, neutral to all. But next line is, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maititeshu chapiham. Ye bhajanti tu, but those who do my bhajan, those who are my devotees, they are very dear to me. And somebody renders a little service to his devotee, very little, he becomes very dear to Krishna. That's how merciful Krishna is. Even if that person is a big time demon or is just a sinner, worst of the sinners. But if he renders a little service, just like once Prabhupada was in a morning walk and with his disciples, and another person, American, he was also in a morning walk, so they were crossing each other, and the person said, good morning to Prabhupada. Prabhupada also responded, good morning. And when they crossed, Prabhupada told his disciples, see, he just made progress spiritually. He just said good morning to Prabhupada. That's all he did. But Krishna notices. So this is the good fortune. Not that good fortune is Krishna is playing dice. Okay, this living entity will get the good fortune and this will not. And no. And with this Agyat Sukriti, we perform based on our independence. It is not that we are like robots, that we have no independence, that everything is fixed. Yes, destiny is fixed, but the way to understand is if we buy an air ticket from Delhi to Mumbai and we sit in the airplane, so we are destined to land in Mumbai. Hopefully, there's no unfortunate incident happens in the plane. So it will land in Mumbai. So we are destined to land in Mumbai. But what do we do on the way to Mumbai in the plane? That's up to us. And that can change the further destiny, or it will go in our records for future lifetimes. So what do we do in the plane? Whether we sit down and chant, whether we sit down and or read some literature, whatever, not spiritual, other literature, or we sit down, we talk to the co-passengers, or we get into fight with somebody. It's all up to us. Not that every single incident or every single move of ours is fixed. That's where the independence is. For animals, less than human beings, everything is fixed. They have no choice. But we have choice. That's because we have a higher consciousness. So we are given this choice. So we can use it. We can choose properly. It's all up to us. So when by good fortune, this good fortune does not come on its own. It comes because of something we have done, rendered some service. One comes in contact with the pure devotee and hears from him patiently. One begins to follow the path of devotional service. So what kind of Agyat Sukriti we can perform? Well, of course, we are performing devotional service now. But we can, as devotees, we can help others create their bank balance of Agyat Sukriti. How? Devotees go out, they distribute prashadam. So anybody who eats prashadam, even if he just eats it, he likes it. Even if he doesn't like it, he just eats it. It's Sukriti. Somebody hears holy name, it's a Sukriti for him. We ask people to give donation for some festival or for some temple construction, or like we were collecting money for sadhu's seva, or that girl who was getting married, girl of a devotee was getting married, or Brajvasis, we serve Brajvasis. So many ways to get this Agyat Sukriti bank balance. And when this bank balance has some good investment, then we get a chance to come in contact with the devotee. And we get a chance to hear from him patiently. And then, again, it's all up to us. We want to take up devotional service sincerely or not. It's up to us. Independence is still there. But once one comes to the path, then sooner or later Krishna will bring it on the path of devotion. Then that means it's like in English they say, it's a beginning of the end. Beginning of the end of material life. Such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity to engage In devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. Otherwise, we just remain and we take birth in different species, different family, and go through again the cycle of birth, old age, disease, death while suffering, adidevik, adibhautik, adhyatmik klesha. Everybody is going through that. Prabhupada says, and then, so utsaha, then nishyat dharyat. Utsaha. One should accept this opportunity to return home back to Godhead very enthusiastically. Enthusiastically means utsaha. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. One cannot be successful even in material world without enthusiasm. Even in the material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. Whether in the school or in sports or at work, whatever work we are doing or business we are doing, we cannot be successful without enthusiasm, without working hard. A student, businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. People lose their enthusiasm. Why? Because we think I'm not getting results. Well, what results are we expecting? Oh, I think I'm chanting for the last 1 year, and I think Krishna should come and shake hands with me by now. And it's not going to happen like that. So enthusiasm has to be there, but like we'll discuss more in this verse. Utsahat, Nishyat, and Dhairyat. Patience has to be there also. The results are not in our hands. Service is in our hands. Karma is in our hands. Enthusiasm means action. But action for whom? The answer is one should always act for Krishna. Krishnarthe akhila cheshta. One should always act for Krishna. Because for Maya, we've been acting for lifetimes after lifetimes. And there is no happiness, no proper happiness. And the end result is another birth. But if we see the enthusiasm of the people working outside means not in devotional service, they're very enthusiastic, so much of enthusiasm is there. People are working 10, 12, 14 hours at work in the job, and with whether enthusiasm or not, but with the desire to please the boss so they can get some raise, some more money. Or in a sports industry, if you see, oh, they have so much of enthusiasm. They really sweat it out in the training or in working out. Really sweat it out. So much of enthusiasm. For what? Just to make few bucks, right? Just to get some more money than others have. To do what? To do sense gratification only, right? But then what? After this life is over, then what? Nothing. We start again from scratch. So this enthusiasm, just for one lifetime, so that I can live comfortably. We cannot live comfortably because adibhautik, adhyatmik, adidevik klesh is always there. Always. And more one gets successful, more one gets attached to that success. More frustrated he will be when the success leaves him. So that doesn't mean one should not be materially successful. One should work, but not over and ever. Atyahara prayasascha. But in the endeavor, over endeavor, or lots of service devotionally, that's always good. because Krishna always keep that in account, and in our spiritual account, and that service, whatever we have rendered and whatever we are rendering, it never goes in vain. Never. Even if we change our bodies, because this is spiritual, it always remains in our account. So how much enthusiastic we must be in devotional service, which is a permanent account, permanent investment. And it pleases Krishna, it pleases ourselves, it really gives pleasure to the soul, and then obviously to the senses. And it makes us closer to Krishna, makes us closer to going back home, back to contact, from which we never have to return to this material. So we have to be enthusiastic when we are chanting or doing other devotional services. There's so many services we do. We've got to be enthusiastic. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very powerful class.
Thank you, Mata.
थोड़ा डलनेस आना शुरू हो गया था मेरे को ना चैंटिंग में, so it was like recharging.
Yeah, that's why I thought let's take this book first.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mata.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I'll just pick up one question from just before the Krishna Lila book ends. One chapter is Shri Krishna Param Shakti. So when Krishna took Arjuna, to that universal level, the Avaran of universal, and then it was completely dark, and then he brings his Sudarshan to enlighten that area. एंड देन उसको भेद के वो चले जाते हैं दैट कार्णव सागर में, वहां महाविष्णु मिलते हैं. सो देयर इज अ टर्म यूज ब्रह्म ज्योति, एंड वी ऑलवेज हर्ड अबाउट कृष्णा हैविंग, यस, this word is bahirangi shakti of Krishna, something you said earlier, bahirangi shakti. A lot of time I've heard that. So what is the difference between bahirangi shakti and brahma jyoti? Because again, brahma jyoti is somehow part of itself. I mean, Krishna himself, brahma jyoti. So what is the difference, if you can explain?
So Bahiranga Shakti is the material energy, Maya. So material energy, all these material universes are part of material energy. And when Krishna and Arjuna on that chariot, they were trying to cross this universe, all the layers, different layers. So it was very dark over there. That's why Krishna sends Sudarshan Chakra, because his horses were also bewildered. And so they light it up, because Maya, obviously, it's a place of darkness, ignorance, darkness. So, but his Sudarshan, that's why its name is Sudarshan. It gives really good darshan, auspicious darshan. So Sudarshan, and by taking Sudarshan, then they go to the Karna Sagar, where Mahavishnu is residing. That's part of Brahm Jyoti. Brahm Jyoti is spiritual. Brahm Jyoti is another aspect of Krishna, or Brahm Jyoti is also explained as Kanti of Krishna's body, effulgence of his body. That's also Brahm Jyoti, called Brahm Jyoti. So that is spiritual. That's spiritual, but it's not, and all the spiritual planets are in Brahm Jyoti. Spiritual planet like Golok Vrindavan, Ayodhya, they all are in Brahm Jyoti. So as a devotee, we have to cross even Brahm Jyoti and go to one of these planets where we serve Krishna. We be with Krishna. The Jnanis, they only go to Brahm Jyoti because this is what they're aspiring. Is that okay?
Yeah, bro. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Chalo, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Jai
Jai
Shri Prabhupada.